How's it going, everybody? It's Stas here. Welcome back to another video. So in today's video, just like always, we're going to be breaking down the Dow Jones, the S&P 500, and the NASDAQ. We're also going to be doing a trading update, talking about what I personally did today in the markets, as well as some stocks that I'm actually swing trading right now, and a couple of other ones that I have listed here on my phone that I'm interested in potentially getting in the middle of January here in 2020. And as you all read in the title, I also want to go over NIO stock and the crazy news that we got today and the crazy move that we had, in this Chinese electric vehicle maker. And I want to give you all my opinion on this and kind of where I see the stock going over the next couple of weeks. So before we get into all of this stuff, all I ask from you is if you enjoy this video, if you find value in the video, simply go down below for me and hit that like button. Also, consider subscribing to the channel if you want to see further content from me. And if you want to be further connected with the Strive Smart community, take a look at our Discord group chat and our Facebook group linked down below in the description box. And those are 100% free of charge. So without further ado, guys, let's hop into it and talk about today's performance in the S&P 500, which ended up closing the day up $6.14 here, up 0.19%. And based on the daily movement on this one-day, one-minute chart, you can see yet again another all-time high was hit today at $3,298.66. Almost cracked into 3,300, guys. Almost cracked into there, but not quite yet. But nonetheless, it was an all-time high on the S&P 500. And if we're judging on this hourly chart, we can see that we're still holding the uptrend. We're still holding that 50 SMA being this green line, which generally speaking here over the past 3 weeks, which is what this chart indicates, this level has been held as a support. So the fact that we pulled down today, high or low on top of that 50 SMA, and it seems like on the daily chart, we're consolidating a bit heading into the close. We consolidated a bit from yesterday's support, considering that level at about 32.80. That's a good sign that we may pop heading into tomorrow's session. And you guys can see, speaking of the S&P 500, if we look at the futures, they're actually up here after hours, up 0.11%, up $3.50. So if this continues heading into tomorrow's pre-market session, you best believe that the markets will most likely push green there and maybe rally to another all-time high and finally break that 3,300 level, which it seems like we've been struggling at. Well, not really struggling at, because we've been hitting all-time highs, but on the 5-day, 5-minute, you can see I thought we were almost going to get it there yesterday. I thought we were almost going to get it today, but again, tomorrow we may get it, in terms of that level. And on the 5-day, 5-minute chart, you can also see the uptrend is continuing at a higher low for the S&P. So that's looking good. Now, let's talk about the Dow Jones, up $90.55 today, up 0.31%. And on the S&P, or not the S&P, very similar to the S&P on the 5-day, 5-minute chart, you can see here, the Dow Jones pulled down, and it confirmed a higher low on the 180 SMA on this 5-day, 5-minute chart, which is a good sign for the continuation of the uptrend. And with the futures being up an additional 30 points here, up 0.1%, that's a really good sign, because that indicates the continuation move here into the aftermarket session. And again, if this continues into tomorrow, that could be another all-time high for the Dow Jones. And if we're pulling back to this hourly chart, we can see uptrend is intact. We're trading above that 50 SMA with an all-time high hit today at $29,127.59. So pulling up this NASDAQ here, futures right now are up 0.18%, up $16.75. And if I pull up my Yahoo Finance app, the NASDAQ actually closed up $7.35 today, up 0.08%. So a slight green day for the NASDAQ, and the green is continuing here after market hours, which is a good sign, because based on this trend line you guys are seeing on this hourly chart, this nice pop is an indication we're holding 90, 50, old all-time high as a new support, which is a very good sign. So I think based on this pattern here, this is kind of a little breakup pattern we're seeing. I think this could be a straight shot for the NASDAQ to fill up to maybe 9,100 tomorrow if this continues into tomorrow's session, or maybe later this week or even next week. And from there, I think 91.15 should be hit and then an all-time high from there, especially if these markets continue green. If we take a look down at these tech stocks, a lot of the main ones, Netflix was up 38 cents today, Microsoft up $1.05. I feel like Microsoft just continues to rally here, just like Apple, right? But Apple was actually down $1.34, while Facebook was up $2.09 today, and Google was up $8, and Amazon was actually down $7.42. So, overall, the tech stocks did well, despite Apple and Amazon being slightly red on the day. And I believe if we get a surge in Amazon over these next couple of weeks, which kind of is the most battered down tech stock out of the bunch, I would believe, if we take a look maybe at this yearly chart, if we get a big move up to, 1950, 2000, that would obviously drag up the NASDAQ to the point where, and the S&P obviously, to the point where they should be exploding through the roof in terms of all-time highs. And, that's pretty much it for the market update. A little side tangent there on the tech stocks, but let me know what you guys think down below in the comments about the markets session today. Any thoughts about, the economy, just anything. Drop a comment down below for me. Now, let's talk about what I personally did in the markets today. And to be honest, guys, today was one of those days where I didn't really do much at all. Honestly, I'm just holding on to my swing positions, and my swing positions were kind of a mixed bag. Actually, no, that's a lie. I did trade one thing today. I bought a little bit of Beyond Meat, and I actually ended up taking a slight loss, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. But despite that, I didn't really do much. I'm simply holding on to my swings, and my main swings right now are Uber, ticker symbol UBER. This is actually one that did pretty well today, up 0.49%, up 0.17, also known as 17 cents, right? And it actually hit $35.15 today, which if we pull back a bit, we can see, on the maybe the 30-day chart will show it. You guys can see we're getting closer to the top range of this trading range from about, 33.50 up to 36, and that's where I'm kind of looking to take these profits here on Uber. And this is one that I've been buying in over the past couple of days in little chunks. Last time I bought, I believe, was yesterday, and yeah, again, it did pretty well, up 17 cents, up 0.49%, and I'm simply holding this one. And today, Beyond Meat actually went down, guys. Beyond Meat actually got crushed. It actually went down 9% here, down about $10, and I entered Beyond Meat this morning at about $112.80, I believe, to be exact with you all. And if we pull up this 5-day chart, I entered right around here, I believe, a bit prematurely as we started to see this rally, and I was hoping for the breakout here, as I'm sure a lot of others were hoping for, right? The break above that 180 SMA. I was looking to rally up maybe to about $124 today, but obviously that did not happen. We actually dumped all the way down to about $107, and I ended up just taking a little bit of a loss there. I believe it was close to a 1% loss. Let me take a look, because 112.80 is where I got in. I believe I ended up stopping out. No, it was more than a 1% loss. It was around 110 is where I just cut my shares, probably around a 1.7% loss. And the thing is, guys, and why this didn't affect me too much is because I scale into my positions. This morning I understood that, yeah, Beyond Meat could probably dump even further from where I'm buying in here. And that is why I ended up just putting a small amount of my goal position size, which in this case, I think I put around 20% of what I wanted it to be. So I cut my losses on that 20%. And honestly, I'm looking to re-enter into this position tomorrow, but I just did not feel comfortable holding it overnight just due to the straight downtrend that we're seeing. The fact that, yeah, we are showing a little bit of support here above 105. We closed above it. That's a good sign, considering that that's an old resistance from a couple days ago, right? We actually held it earlier today, this morning, and, that's a good sign. But we're still overall downtrending below this 50 SMA, and that still gives me some worries that, we may fill the gap down to $95, which is a level that people were talking about in the Discord chat today, which again is linked down below in the description box and free to join for anybody out there that does want to join. So that's kind of me being cautionary here. I cut my losses, and that's okay because I made a ridiculous amount of money on Beyond Meat over the past couple of days. If you guys don't know, I actually traded it. Where did I buy in again? $94.60 or something like that. I bought in on this day, and if you saw yesterday's video, you saw my screenshot that I actually put a limit order on it at 135 and sold out of my remaining shares. This was probably one of the best time trades that I've had over the past couple of months. No joke, guys. And I got out, and since then, you can see it's tanked all the way down to here, and again, I'm looking to maybe enter again in this range or wherever it ends up showing support, and as of now, I'm just being patient. Do I think there's more potential? Absolutely, but I'm being patient here with my entry points, and I'll let you guys know what I end up doing. So, other than me just simply holding my swings today, Beyond is the loss that I took, and I almost forgot to mention it for you guys today. But another one that I'm holding is Tesla, which is actually down today. If you guys saw it, ticker symbol TSLA, you saw that it was down 3.6%, down about $20 on the day, and this is actually one that I also bought in on Friday, this past Friday, at about $480, and I've been holding ever since then. I did not sell out of my shares, guys. I did lose a bit of money here today, about 3.6%, but overall, I bought in at $480, and I'm still up about $40 per share on my shares, which at the end of the day, I'm still up 7% in a couple of days, and that's incredible. And overall, the trend on Tesla is still up. The uptrend is still intact. We are holding that 50 SMA, this green line on this hourly chart, which is a very, very good sign. So I'm not sweating it. Based on this pattern, Tesla should pop tomorrow. I believe if these markets are green, I think Tesla should follow. Let's say we end up dumping here, and you guys may be asking, didn't you have a trailing stop loss? I actually canceled it, to be honest with you guys, because I do see more potential up here. So I did cancel that trailing stop loss, and honestly, that may come back and haunt me if we dump here, but we'll end up seeing what ends up happening. So I believe we'll end up holding this, or I hope that ends up happening. And from there, guys, the goal sell for me on my swing is probably going to be once we start fiddling, maybe with 550 again, maybe 555, 560. If it ends up breaking an all-time high again, that's where I'd consider selling completely out of Tesla in my swing position. And let's say we do end up dumping, I'd probably just lock in anything close to 510, maybe 505. But at that point, again, my gains will really be diminished. But it'll be the price I have to pay for holding this and really, canceling my trailing stop loss. But we'll see what ends up happening, guys. And a couple of other ones that I am holding, for those of you guys that don't know, PayPal, this one ended up doing decent today, up 21 cents. What else am I holding here? Activision, Blizzard. Sometimes I forget, guys, because I let my swings ride. Sometimes they consolidate for many days, a week, 2 weeks. This is actually one that is doing that. Activision. I've been holding this one, but it's really just been doing nothing, which is why when I think of what I'm in, I kind of forget because I haven't really been buying it recently, Activision that is, but I've just simply been holding the shares that I've been buying over the past, couple of weeks. At this point, I believe I've been in this one for at least a month. Ticker symbol ATVI. So overall, guys, that is what I personally did today. And if we're talking about a stock that is not in my trading portfolio, but it's one that did incredible today. It's NIO stock, guys. And NIO stock, you all know that I've been buying it, especially if you watch my NIO videos previously where I've showed screenshots of my position. This is one that's in my long-term portfolio. I've been buying it really sporadically here. It took what was it? When it took that massive dip down to about $2, I believe I bought, one $400 buy-in and then another $300 buy-in a couple weeks later. Initially, I actually bought into NIO. If you guys have been along for the channel for about, a couple months to a year now, I first bought NIO in the $5 range. I was down a good amount, but I averaged down on my position again in the $2 range, which I believe was during this time period right here. And I actually bought more a couple weeks ago, and since then I've just been holding on. I'm up about 20% on my position right now, and this is one that we saw some great news today that I want to talk about. Today, the stock was up 14.1%, up 53 cents, and I want to share with you all this article that really sums up what ended up happening today. So, shares of Chinese electric car maker NIO, ticker symbol NIO, were sharply higher on Wednesday morning after a Chinese business news outlet reported that the cash-strapped company had secured new financing from a major automaker. And we've been talking about this on the channel in pretty much every NIO video, and when they report earnings, I go over this, that they burn a lot of cash, guys. They at one point, they were a couple weeks from what I remember of going bankrupt. They were a couple weeks away of going bankrupt. And I knew that, if they were to get any funding, any financing, and many other people already knew this as well, if they were to get anything like that, rumors about it, the stock was going to spike up, because what this means is, that the business is staying alive from one of these major automakers giving it money. And in this case, the major automaker was, you'll see here, a $1 billion a cash infusion from GAC Group. This is very, very good, guys. GAC is one of China's big domestic automakers. It has significant joint ventures with Honda Motor and Fiat Chrysler Automobiles, among others. If GAC has in fact decided to make a major investment in NIO, and as of now, neither company has confirmed the report, then NIO's future is bright. That's an important development in its 15 months as a public company, and we already talked about that in previous videos, so I don't want to go over that in too much detail. So the gist of it is, we're getting this news, although it's not confirmed and it's not denied quite yet, as you guys can see here in this article from The Motley Fool. This is still good news nonetheless, that actually we saw the stock halt. I believe it was at 1:45 Eastern Standard Time today. The stock halted for about 20-30 minutes, and then it resumed trading. So pre-market, you can see how much this stock ran up, right? You can see how much the stock ran up from 377 up to 448. That was a move of nearly 20% overnight just from this news that they're potentially getting funding. And if this actually gets confirmed, guys, this is where I believe we can see a huge spike in NIO. We may be going back to $5-6 in no time, right? And this is something that I really kind of had in my bullish thesis when thinking about NIO a couple months ago. I realized that, let's say if China bails them out or they get a huge investment, it's going to keep this company alive. And at the end of the day, I feel like China wants this company to remain alive, and I believe that they won't let them become bankrupt. That's kind of just my opinion. And, if they do get the funding officially, 450, I believe, will blow right through it, up to about 550. That could be the next move based on this chart. Actually, maybe up to about $5 first based on this chart. We can see $5 used to be a support a couple months ago back in April. So, from, 430 up to $5, and then from $5 up to 550. I believe there, from here, there's at least 13 to 17% more potential, at least in the short term, for NIO before we cool off. And that is if they do get this this financing deal, which I'm sure we'll get news about this over the next couple of days. I'm sure over the next couple of weeks at least. So NIO, that is kind of my opinion there. I'm bullish on the stock, obviously, since I've been buying it over the past couple of months. It's not a big position of mine. I only have, again, about $1,200-$1,300 in it as of now, but it is one of my more speculative stocks in my portfolio. And as a young person, I believe it is wise to have a couple spec stocks. Have most of your money. A little side tangent here, but have most of your money in, let's say, an ETF, an index fund, blue chip companies, but also, if you're a young person that is, 20, 30, 40, have some money in, let's say, a NIO, in one of these MJ stocks, right? Maybe in one of these biotech penny stocks where if they get an FDA approval, they'll go up 100, 300, 500%. Something like this, right? Put some money in that you're willing to lose that could end up giving you a 10-bag return, 20-bag return, and that's really what I think NIO could be, but on the same time, flip side, I understand NIO can go to $0, which I'm okay with, which is why I only have a very tiny amount of my portfolio in it of around, again, $1,200 to $1,300. So a couple of other stocks that I do want to talk about here, guys, are obviously Beyond Meat, Tesla. We kind of already went over those, and I'm just reading off my list here. We already went over those. The next one is going to be Ulta, ticker symbol ULTA, and this is one that I almost bought today, to be honest, guys. I took that loss, no other trading activity, but I almost bought this one today, but I'm going to wait until tomorrow and see for sure whether or not it's going to hold this 180, or not the 180, the 50 SMA here on this hourly chart, which is this green line. I'm liking the pull down. This is a good, in my opinion, dip buy on this bullish momentum, but I just want to see the confirmation. And as of now, this $10 pull down we've seen, it opened up around a 3-4% potential here on Ulta, and long term we can see they had an awful earnings report last quarter, not this past quarter, the one before that. They consolidated for a couple of months. They had a good earnings report this previous quarter. Now the stock is finally turning bullish, and we're in this massive range from around 265 up to 320. So I do believe in this. This is a nice dip, and I want to buy tomorrow, maybe the next day, and really scale into it over the next couple of weeks. So another stock that I want to share with you all here, and it was actually a request from a subscriber, is iRobot, ticker symbol IRBT. And if you guys want me to talk about any stocks, feel free to drop them down below in the comments. Ask me any question at that. Go on Discord, message me, go on Instagram, which is also linked down below, and shoot me a DM, whatever you guys want. I can help you out with anything and any questions you've got. So iRobot Corporation, this is finally, from my understanding here, breaking the downtrend it has been in. And you can see the 50 SMA, the 180 SMA, these have been resistance levels. And since we've broken above them, we've actually been making higher highs and higher lows. We actually just broke above $53, which was a resistance from a couple weeks ago towards the end of December. It was also a resistance back in the end of October to the beginning of November, and this is a very good sign. And the fact that we are holding the uptrend based on this light blue EMA line here at a higher low, and we are about to test 54.75, maybe 54.50, which is the next resistance, this is a very good sign, right? I think the trade here for iRobot would be patient, wait for the 54.50 test, which is the resistance we're dealing with now, and if it breaks out of that, which if we look on the closer charts here, it actually failed there today, right around 54.50, 55, although it is holding the uptrend, it failed there. We need to see that break, right? 54.50, if that ends up going, breaking above that. If we go to that 4-hour chart and we zoom in a bit, we can see the next gap it could fill up to is about $57, which is a nice trade of around 4 or 5%. And I believe from there, the next spot we get to is around 59.60, which could give you around a 7 to 8% gain from where we are right now. So iRobot, I'm actually liking this one. This is one that's been battered down heavily. It's lost 50% of its value, and it could finally be on their turnaround. And my feeling here is that their earnings, I haven't done research on them, but if their earnings are very good, this could be a stock that has a nice rally up to about $70, which could be where we go up from here, which would be an insane $17 per share price gain. So let's talk about a couple more here. iRobot, we just talked about that. Bank of America is one that reported their earnings today, guys. Ticker symbol BAC, and they actually pulled down about 1.84% despite the EPS beat, 74 cents versus 68 cents in terms of EPS, and they beat analysts' expectations there. And revenue came as a beat as well, $22.3 billion versus $22 billion. Net income was $7 billion compared to last year. That is a 4% decrease. And investment banking fees were $1.5 billion, up 9% year over year, while sales and trading revenue, excluding net DVA, also increased 13% from the year ago quarter to $2.9 billion. So overall, those are some statistics from today's earnings report, and it seems like although net income is kind of lagging here over the past couple of quarters, and especially over the past couple of years, or year rather, it was a decent earnings report, and I think that the net income is why this is lagging today, down about 1.8%, but I still believe it's tradable, especially since we actually held the support of this horizontal channel that we're in at about 34.50 and the 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart, which is this yellow line. So watch for the potential move back up to 35.75, $36 here on BAC. I think it's very, very possible. Another one that did quite well was UNH, and we actually talked about that in yesterday's video. A subscriber actually called it out for me, and they beat on EPS, but they came in line with revenue, and the stock ended up shooting up $8.17, up nearly $3, putting us at a $300 of resistance. That $300 resistance, which I think if we break, this stock could be well off to another all-time high here. Let me just double check and see if it is an all-time high. Yep, it is. And maybe 305, 310 could be the next move, and it could really be a breakout stock from there. So another one that could be a breakout is Netflix, ticker symbol NFLX. And on this hourly chart, you guys can see we've been fiddling with 340 for the past couple of weeks. If we break this level, we did yesterday, we almost rallied and tried to hold it, but we failed. But if we break again, we can maybe fill up to 350 and even higher, guys. You know from this 4-hour chart, I've been talking about this, that I see a lot of potential for Netflix up to around $380, which from this level, that is a massive move of around 10 to 11%. So I'm going to end off this video here, and Netflix does, by the way, report earnings in about a week from now on the 21st of January, but I'll leave you guys at that. If you enjoyed this video, go down below for me and hit that like button. Also, consider subscribing to the channel if you want to see further content from me. And if you haven't claimed your 2 free stocks from Webull quite yet, I have an affiliate link down below in the description box where if you deposit $100 using my link, you actually get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400, and that's free money at the end of the day, guys. So go take advantage of that down below in the description box. I'll catch you all in the next video. Thanks again for watching, supporting. It means a lot to me, guys. Peace out.